Good morning, high schoolers. It is Coach Kelly today. I'm so excited to be continuing our kayaking lesson. This weekend I got to go camping with my parents and they brought their kayaks. So I got to practice in the water with them and it was so much fun. Today we're going to be focusing on the forward stroke specifically. One thing that we're going to be needing to do first though is get a good grip on our paddle. So right here is I have a kayaking paddle and I'm going to kind of just grab it a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, a nice comfortable length. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is lift it high above my head and plop it right down on my head. It looks a little funky, but what we're looking for here is a good 90-degree angle in our elbows. So if I don't have that, I can come a little bit wider, or if I need to come in closer, I can adjust it. But once we're here in this 90-degree angle, this is now a good length for us to start paddling. That's kind of just the rule of thumb to find your grip. So why don't everybody where you are go ahead and stand up. It's good morning, stretch it out, ooh, stand up. And I want you to just pretend like you have a paddle in your hand. You're gonna grab slightly shoulder width apart, lift it up high, drop it on your head. Good. Let's make sure and keep our heads forward. We wanna always have a forward head even when we are paddling to keep good balance. Nice job, everybody. Okay, so what we're gonna do, as you can see, you all have paddles by your feet. You're gonna, when I say go, grab a partner, and you're gonna find your grip 10 times. I want each partner to help each other out and switch their forms 10 times. After that 10 times, we're gonna incorporate a torso rotating motion. This is something similar from our baseball unit when we were throwing with one arm, rotating our torso and following through. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our paddles right here, comfy shoulder width apart, bring it up, plop it down. We're looking for that 90-degree angle. And then from here, I'm gonna keep my hips steady, I'm gonna keep my head forward, and I'm just gonna be moving my torso, left and right, moving my torso. This is gonna come into play when we go over the 3 basic movements. So I want you to go left and then right, just left and right. And you're gonna do that 10 times as well. So when I say go, you're good to pick up your paddles and start. And as always, freeze means stop and sit down and wait for further instruction. Go ahead. Okay, freeze. Awesome job, everybody. Everyone kept their heads forward and we were rotating perfectly. Real quick, I just want to switch it up with a task change. So what we're going to do now, since balance is so important in kayaking, is we're going to take our paddles, just like we were doing, finding that 90-degree grip, rotating, but now I want us to try a little bit harder. We're going to balance on one foot. This is going to really focus us tightening our core when we're rotating and keeping our head straight. So we're going to go left and right, left and right. So I just want you guys to do that just a couple times to feel it out, and then we can move on. Go ahead. All right, guys, so for this one, we are going to be going over the 3 phases of movement. They are catch, power, and release. So each forward stroke has all 3 of them incorporated in it. So the first one is catch, and it's just how it sounds. We're going to be catching the water by our feet. So if I start with my right hand, I'm going to be catching it by my forward right foot, and if I start and catch with my left hand, I'm going to be catching by my left foot. We catch as far out as we can so that we have enough room to pull it back. This is the start of the strength. So the next one is called power. So if I'm starting with my right, I'm up here catching the water, and the power is all of the movement. It's gonna be the force that propels you forward. So I'm with my right hand out, I'm gonna pull it back, I'm gonna rotate my torso to the right, and with my left hand, I'm pushing forward. So we'll go over that again. It's a push-pull mechanism. When I start with my right up, I'm gonna pull it back, rotate my torso, and push my left up. So now we're on the final phase of release. And that's as easy as it sounds. You're just gonna be lifting up your oar out of the water. And as you saw, when I lifted up my right side, my left side was kind of already starting to go down. That's exactly what we want, because this is the start of the catch phase on the left side. So I've caught the water by my left foot with my left hand. I'm gonna pull, 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 rotate my torso, push, and then just release up here. I'm catching, I'm releasing, catching, and releasing. Releasing is important because it helps prevent drag. If I catch, pull, and stay in the water, it's gonna slow me down, and I don't want that. I'm trying to go forward and as fast as I can. So I'm gonna catch, power, release as quickly as possible, and start that motion off again. So what we're going to be doing is, everybody's already in their kayaking lanes, awesome job. Let's just practice going forward, focusing on those 3 phases of movement that I just went over. and you guys are good to go. Go ahead. All right, everybody, freeze where you are. I just want to point out Kristen right here in lane 4. Kristen's doing an awesome job of getting that catch as far out as possible, starting her strength, pulling it back so she can propel forward, and a quick release. So Kristen, why don't you go ahead and demonstrate some forward strokes for us? Perfect. Catch, pull, release. Catch, pull, release. Awesome job, everybody. Go ahead and keep it going. All right, so this next activity is called Rack 'em Up Sally, and as you can see, around us here in the water is 30 inflatable balls. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be paddling forward with our catch, power, and release phases until we get to a ball. So paddle, paddle, paddle. Oop, here's a ball. I'm just going to scoop it up real quick, put it into my kayak, and keep going because the goal is to collect as many balls as you can before the time is up. What we really need to be focusing on here is our catch, power, and release because we want to get straight to those balls right away. So when I say go, you guys are good to start. Go ahead. Awesome job today, guys. I definitely saw us using those 3 phases of movement when we were doing our forward kayak stroke, and I hope we had a lot of fun doing it. Real quick before we end today, let's go over some things that we learned. Can I have a quiet raise of hand, someone volunteer to tell me the importance of the catch phase? Derek.
It's the start of the strength for the movement.
Exactly right. The farther we can get that catch out, the more room we have to pull back. Can I have another volunteer to tell me the importance of the power phase? Jason.
The power to propel forward and go further.
Exactly. The harder we pull and get that power phase, the more we can go farther and faster. So my last question for today is going to be, can someone tell me the importance of the release phase? Timothy.
It's to not slow down the forward push.
Exactly. And we can also call that drag. Once we get through our power phase, we don't want anything getting in the way. Awesome job today, guys. I'm so excited to continue our lesson tomorrow, and you are good to go get dressed out for your next class. Have a good one.